With Winter NAMM 2025 officially over as of a few days back, there's been a lot of cool new pedals and stuff. But let's take a look at something old today. Hi folks, Darren here, a very warm welcome back to the channel. Okay, so today we're going all the way back to 2015 to a simpler, more reckless era where people still thought flip phones were cool and the fab line of pedals from Danelectro was making waves in the budget pedal world. This little guy right here, the Danelectro FAB Distortion, was part of that budget-friendly range from Danelectro. And man, if you've never played one, you must have heard it somewhere. They're cool little pedals, they were really cheap. It's a weird little distortion pedal that no one really knows what circuit it's based on. It's like the pedal equivalent of a mystery box. So here is the deal with this pedal. Even Josh Scott himself couldn't figure out what circuit it's actually based on. And if Josh Scott doesn't know and he can't figure it out, it's got to be a puzzle. Nobody is going to know. But hold your horses for a second. Rob Mods on YouTube. He is the pedal detective we never knew that we actually needed. He cracked the code while rehousing one of these babies, and it turns out that it's based on a Maxon DS830 Distortion Master reissue, which is a reissue of a 1970s Maxon pedal. Mind blown, right? We finally know. But here's the kicker. That pedal is not actually a perfect clone. It's like the one cousin who kind of looks like you, but they definitely don't have the same taste in music or haircuts. As if I can talk about haircuts. I'm bald, come on. So I have had this pedal since 2006. It's almost 20 years ago, and you can imagine and can see the amount of boost that this thing saw between dive bars, punk rock gigs, and tens of gigs. I didn't exactly play a stadium tour, but this thing definitely saw its fair share of beer-spilled floors and questionable decisions, let's say. But after all the abuse that it had in those very few gigs, I thought it earned a retirement, and I swapped it out for the drive channel on a Marshall MG100 HDFX. But yeah, after a house move, I was unpacking some stuff, found this in a box, and I thought I'd give it a go. I do remember trying it once with a power supply unit and it not working, but I tried it with a 9V and it worked. So yeah, that's why I'm bringing it to you today, because it works and it's a cool pedal, man. It really is cool. The controls are a little bit finicky. It's got a drive, tone and a volume, and they are a little bit scratchy. I think that they just cut out now and again when you're messing with the controls and adjusting them. So it's almost dead, but just alive enough to be weird. I don't know. It's like a zombie pedal. So let's see how this stacks up now 20 years later. If this pedal was a person, it'd probably be a grumpy middle-aged uncle who's been through some stuff but still has some killer stories to tell at family parties. Yeah, that's probably going to be me. Here's the demo track. Okay, let's get some tones out of the Danelectro FAB Distortion. For the demo track, and with my really bad playing, you heard the 2014 Fender Classic Player Strat with 2 humbuckers. I stayed in the bridge position for the entire time, but we will go through the tones there. I'm also going to use a Gibson Les Paul Special with P90s in it, and something a little bit more single coil. Tele-esque traditional thing. What am I on about? It's either going to be a Strat or a Tele. We'll see what happens and which one I pick up. But first of all, the clean tone. This is going straight into the Line 6 Helix with an archetype clean and a vintage V30 loaded 412 cab, again from the Line 6 Helix. So yeah, nice and clean, nothing too special about that. I will use a reverb at some point. Now the Danelectro is actually in one of the effects loops on the Line 6 Helix, which I've got set to turn on and off from a switch on the Helix control. You'll know it's on because it's very noisy. There you go. And I'll also boost it with a Scream 808 at some point as well. So on the Danelectro FAB Distortion, there are obviously only 3 controls. There's a drive, there's a tone, there's a volume. At this moment in time, let's have a look where the drive is. Oh look, the drive is all the way up.
Exactly where it should be.
We got the tone, which is just backed up past 12 o'clock, or before 12 o'clock I think it is. It's about here. You know, it can go all the way there, or it can come all the way down here. So that's, I think, 0. I don't know, I'll work it out now. We'll work it out, but it's about there. And then the volume is just after 12 o'clock. I've had this pedal for years. This is still a voyage of discovery for me. Okay, let's turn it on. Would really help if I was in tune, wouldn't it? Okay, first of all, let's take that drive down. So if that's all the way up, that's all the way down. We've worked it out. Nothing there. Let's take it up to about halfway. So as you can hear, that's actually a really nice distortion, isn't it? That's actually really, really good. Let's take the tone control all the way down. Oh, I like that. Let's put it into the neck position. Back to the bridge. Okay, let's take it up to about a quarter of the way. So it almost sounds just like a nice little overdrive there. It's obviously not an overdrive, I know, before you get me in the comments. But take the drive up a tad, the tone up a tad. A tad is a form of measurement. That's actually that's a really nice usable sound, that is. I'm starting to remember why I like this pedal so much. That's a really, really usable drive tone. That's actually really good. Let's take the tone all the way up. It's going to sound horrendous. I'm almost getting a volume bump with the tone. Let me take it down a bit. Just looking at the screen there on Logic, and yeah, there's not really much volume difference. There's a perceived difference, I think, and maybe pushing some mids. I don't know. I like it about there. Hang on, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Can you see that? That's where they are. That's where they are. Let's take a drive all the way back up.
A few moments later.
Gnarly. Let's put it back to where I think the sweet spot is. Okay, so I've got the Tube Screamer on. It's the Scream 808 in the Line 6 Helix. So what I was saying with one of the knobs was broken, or it's a bit finicky. Listen to the volume here now. Oh, hang on. I was wrong, it works. I lied to everyone. It works fine. It works fine. It's the cables. It's not even the cables, it's the inputs. That's kind of worse. Let's try it with a different guitar. Okay, this is a Gibson Les Paul Special with P90s in it. I think they're B&G P90s because I traded it. Someone done stuff to it and traded it back. Okay, clean bridge pickup. Clean neck. I may put some reverb on this now. Neck pickup. Middle position for giggles. Tube Screamer. That sounds really freaking good, man. Whoa, Strat Tele, what are we having? We shall find out in a moment. Strat Tele, but go on, let's go Telecaster, because I think it's pretty. It actually sounds really good as well, to be fair. I think that would sound great with a drive gained. All the way up. Sweet spot and Tube Screamer. So what's my final verdict on this 20-year-old pedal? Well, it's not the smoothest distortion in the world. It's got a bit of vintage charm, like maybe it would be better suited to punk band playing, basements and small clubs and whatnot. But for £12, like, you can get this for £12. It's kind of still a steal if you can get one working, or you can work on rehousing it. Look, this pedal isn't going to replace any other distortion pedal. It's not going to replace your boutique vintage stuff, yada yada yada. But if you're looking for a cheap way to add some grit to your sound, or you just want a pedal with a little bit of personality, and by personality I mean maybe some quirks, then the Danelectro FAB Distortion might just be what you didn't know you needed. So yeah, it may have been retired from beer-soaked floors and dive bars, but this little pedal is back, baby, and it's probably seen more action than your average high-end boutique pedal that's been sitting in a cupboard just to have ever will. And anyway, if you can find one for £12, 12 to 15, maybe 20, it's still cheap as hell. It's worth the nostalgia alone if you're from that era and you had one of these pedals previously. And maybe it'll be the perfect next addition to your I'm Too Loud for My Own Good punk rock project. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Did you like it? Have you got one? Have you used one? Just let me know. Until our next shenanigans, I will see you again, guys.